All right, gentlemen, welcome to week 12. The division showdowns begin. We got 3 weeks left of the regular season. I'm at my in law's house already to celebrate Thanksgiving. Hope you all have already completed your travels for wherever you'll be for the turkey day. May we all eat turkey and nap hard tomorrow. Last week I went 2-6. Wolf. I guess I need to bring Barrett back so I can do well and he can do horrid. Brings my overall record to 46-34. We just finished waivers this morning, and it was a fun waiver bid week for us as we had 4 teams put in bids for Samaje Perine, which yours truly took him home with a $41 bid. Probably overpaid a little bit there, but 3 other people did want him. Barrett came in with the second highest with a $23 bid. I was talking to William about this the other day, but originally I had $19, which is, I believe, what William placed up until the last minute and changed it late last night. And I wouldn't have gotten him if I hadn't put in that big bid. So we'll see if it works out for me like it did for Jeffrey with his big bid earlier in the season. It was a rough week guessing wise for me, but again, with the highest division league, it almost worked for me to pick against all of them. But Delwyn did sneak out a win. He was the only one to win out of the highest division. So sorry, guys. One of you will have, 2 of you actually, will now have to win this week because you're playing each other. So somebody's got to win. They are tied with Luke only being 1 game behind the other 3 up there. So that's going to be a fun battle to watch as that highest division shakes out for the top 2 spots. Also, speaking of Delwyn, he is the second lowest scoring team in the entire league. And yet is tied for the lead in the highest division. That is just wild. Last week was a great week for us fantasy wise, as we had 3 matchups last week that were decided by 2 points or less. That stick. Let's hope we have some more fun like that rolling into these last 3 weeks. And as promised, I told you I would start the playoff stuff soon. I'll go ahead and do that this week, as it's easy. With 3 weeks to go, the only person guaranteed for the playoffs is Rusty. He's the only one that has locked down a spot. He could lose all 3 matchups. He'd be in the playoffs. I am the second closest to having locked down a spot, but since only 1 team is guaranteed from the bottom division, it is possible Austin could get in over me. However, I would have a great shot at the wild card berth if that was to be the case. But Rusty so far, only 1 guaranteed. Eliminated from playoffs is only Matt. Matt is the only one that has no shot at the playoffs. Even the wild card, he'd have to average like 200 points a game. Not happening in this league. Sorry, Matt. Michael is also extremely close to joining Matt on the eliminated list. We'll see if that happens next week. I'll update this week to week as we go, and this will start changing a lot since we are now playing interdivision the whole time. Michael technically has a chance at the wild card, but he's going to need to score a ton of points, and that is the only way he can get in is via the wild card. He cannot catch me in the bottom division for the guaranteed playoff spot, so he has to get the wild card, and that is his only shot. So in addition to those, we do promotion relegation. So Mac, we've already talked about this a little bit, but remember the top 2 teams from each division move up and the bottom 2 teams from each division move down. So promoted for next year, already guaranteed, is Rusty and myself. No matter what, we will move up a division next year. And guaranteed to stay in the bottom next year is Matt. He's the only one that's guaranteed relegation so far, with a few hanging in the balance, but they're the only guaranteed ones so far. As far as the wild card watch, in order of likelihood of getting it right now is myself, Austin, Derek, Jeffrey, Dylan, William, Mac, Ryan, Barrett, and Luke. If I don't get in and Austin beats me, I will get the wild card most likely. But however, if I win, it likely goes to someone in that middle high division. But we will see what happens. Let's go ahead and get to some picks now. So first we got me versus Matt. Another reason I picked up Samaje Perine is Matt has Joe Mixon, so big swing in my favor if he doesn't play. Matt has only won 2 games this year. We are projected to be close. I lost Pitts as my tight end, which honestly might have been the best thing that happened to me this season, as he's not a player I could bench, but he has not been producing at a worthy of starting position all season, basically. I got to think I get the job done here, and by winning, guarantee myself moving forward. I think I can guarantee a playoff spot with a win. Matt's got a lot of issues with maybe Joe Mixon won't play. Will Mike Williams play as well? his team, once again, when I look at it in general, is not a bad team. It's crazy how bad his record is from looking at his roster. Uh, as long as Jalen Hurts doesn't go crazy against Green Bay, which he easily could, I gotta like my chances to win, especially if Rashad White does end up being the starter this week with Fournette out. I'll definitely take myself to win. Barrett versus Ryan. So the highest division. Here we go. Point 0.7 total points projected difference between these two for this week. Sorry if I keep looking over the side. The Canadian World Cup game is going on right now as well. So looking to see if Canada can draw even on that game or not, or if Barrett will be high pointed by the time this video is over. These two teams, Barrett has started off hot with Lamar Jackson, who has been awful since week 3. But again, not a player you can really bench or do anything with. But he might be getting Jamar Chase back this week. If Jamar Chase plays, that makes a massive difference for Barrett's odds here. I do think that could be a pivotal difference into the winner of this matchup. Ryan, however, has a great lineup with Diggs and Jones and Stevenson. Kadarius Toney is questionable. He's waiting for Deshaun Watson. Jalen Warren's questionable. Basically, if any of Ryan's current starters don't play, he's going to be hurting. I don't think Toney will play. And if he does, I think he'll be limited. We haven't seen him in that offense yet. Nick Chubb's been bad recently for Barrett as well, but Latavius Murray just became the lead back for Denver with them cutting Melvin Gordon despite not really having another running back on their team. But I'm going to have to take Barrett to win this week after a massive disappointing loss for him last week against Rusty. Delwin versus Luke. Luke's projected to win by 10, but Delwin's team has been doing funky things all season. Luke has to get this win to get back in the playoff hunt. Derrick Henry is a beast, gets to play at home against the Bengals. DeAndre Swift has been a massive disappointment. Same thing for Tom Brady for Delwin so far this year. He is not having to play both Cincinnati receivers anymore, which is good if Chase does come back for Barrett, like we just talked about. Pacheco is making a name for himself. Demarcus Robinson is a sneaky wide receiver play. Once again, Delwin doing good work on the waiver wire, getting those players that are sneaky good that people don't necessarily give as much credit as they should. Luke has benched Allen Robinson. Congratulations. Me and Luke just completed a trade. He's got A.J. Dillon now as I get Darren Waller back after I originally gave him to Luke. The old full circle there. But Luke has two powerful running backs that are workhorses in Montgomery and Henry. The question is, will the half PPR league get to him? The good news for Luke is Garrett Wilson might get to be set free with the recent news that the Jets are benching their rookie quarterback, or not rookie anymore, his second season. He is getting benched. Saleh is a great coach. Mike White will be starting, so maybe Jets players will be startable at this point. This is going to be a tight matchup. I'm really surprised that Luke is actually projected to win by 10. I'm shocked by that. Just looking at these teams, you can't count on Brett Maher, his kicker, to have a 25-plus point game every week like he did this last week. But I will take Luke to win to get back in the fight and to make it interesting here at the end for the highest division. OP versus William. William is projected to win by 38 points. Holy smokes. Let's see. Oh, well, OP has is it Dallas? What's Henderson's first name? Either way, the Rams running back, who is no longer the Rams running back, they mysteriously waived him as the Rams are falling apart at the seams, both on the field and in the locker room, it appears. So he's out, and does he even have another running back out there on the waiver wires? Finding one. OP. Williams' team is strong. He's going to make a good, strong run in the playoffs, I think, again this year. He will definitely win this week, and it will not be close. Mac versus Rusty. Mac recently learned about how Rusty is usually not good at this game. And yet that has not been Mac's experience. His first year in, Rusty's only lost a single game. I don't remember who beat him, but it was not Mac. Can Mac get him this time around, though? Jimmy G, Najee Harris, Cordell Patterson. Najee hopefully is a workhorse back now with Jalen Warren supposedly injured. Najee Harris, but Cordell Patterson, he was great early. They kind of fallen off recently, which is surprising because the Falcons don't want to do anything but run. He does have 3 stud receivers, actually really 4, so good luck picking the right one every time. But Rusty has just had the touchdown people. Once again, Rusty lives and dies by his receivers and mainly Travis Kelsey, his tight end. He's still having to play Pickett at quarterback over Murray. Maybe Murray plays this week, maybe doesn't. Damian Pierce was hot early. He's been bad the last couple weeks, and Isaiah Spiller is a dart throw as a hope for someone to play that. Hopefully he never is useful because that would mean Eckler, my running back, gets hurt. So eventually, I think the running backs will be the death of him in this league. Uh, and hopefully it's the first week of playoffs because, man, that would hurt him so bad to have a great season and then week one be gone. But you can't really count his team out because Kelsey could have 3 touchdowns anytime. Tyreek Hill could have 2 touchdowns any game as well. Amari Cooper is having a renaissance year at the Browns, and he doesn't even have Deshaun Watson throwing to him yet. We'll see if that affects him in any way. But at some point the run's going to end, right? I'll pick the upset. I'll take Mac to win. Allen versus Dylan. Dylan's projected to win by 19 in this one. But Allen's always a slow mover to get his lineup set just in time. However, he does have Melvin Gordon, who's currently jobless. Will he get picked up somewhere? Will he not? Van Jefferson, they're already talking about Stafford not playing this week and that he might even get shut down for the whole season just because their season's so bad and he's had a couple concussions. So it might not be worth risking his health at this point, especially with Cooper Kupp out as well. And Dylan on the other hand has Dak, James Conner, Kenneth Walker, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. There's not much to not like on Dylan's team at this time. Only way Allen wins this game is if McCaffrey just goes off. He has 2 stud running backs that could carry him, and they're going to have to for him a chance. But I think Dylan will take the win here. Jeffrey versus Derek, projected game. Also, don't forget, a lot of Thursday games. A lot of games tomorrow with it being Thanksgiving. And there's quite a few in this matchup as well with that. Jeffrey is got Josh Jacobs and Miles Sanders, but he lives and dies with Devontae Adams, who's been hot here in the last little bit. Derek, however, has Leonard Fournette, who's definitely questionable with a hip pointer. He's got plenty of depth on his bench, which is hard in this league, to replace him with should he go down. Josh Palmer also if Mike Williams doesn't play, Josh Palmer is awesome. If Williams does play, that's less great of a play. Saquon Barkley got shut down last week. Can it continue week to week? I don't think so. I think that was a one-off. Saquon's been great this year, although the Dallas defense is very good. So maybe one more week where Saquon could struggle a little bit. I will take Jeffrey to win this one. I do think Williams will play and make Palmer a little less effective. I think Fournette probably won't play this week, which will hurt him as well. And I do think the Dallas defense is good enough to stop Saquon for a little bit. Speaking of Dallas, we get to Austin versus Michael, and Austin with the 2 Dallas running backs last week, just making hay with the 2 of them. I think they both had 2 touchdowns. I mean, my goodness, what an insane week for them. But Michael is actually projected to win by 7 here with the renaissance of Jonathan Taylor after a terrible first half or more of the season, actually. But Kareem Hunt has been atrocious. Thank you for not accepting that trade, Michael, when I tried to trade for him. Pittman has been good, and with Matt Ryan coming back, he is way more useful than when they tried Sam Ellinger at quarterback. But depth-wise, got a lot of dart throws for Michael. Austin has lost Cooper Kupp, and that hurts. Matthew Stafford is also highly questionable, although he could be getting Marquise Brown and Juju back this week, and that would make a big difference. Not that he needs Stafford. He's got Patrick Mahomes, so that really doesn't matter at all. But he would be able to replace both Chase Claypool and Michael Gallup in the lineup if he was able to play Marquise and Juju. I think that'll help Austin more next week than this week. I don't know that even if he came back that either of them, or especially Hollywood Brown, he wouldn't be on a full pitch of playing. Isaiah McKenzie, the rough receivers for Austin throughout this year. I'm gonna pick Michael to win this one. Even though he's only 4-7 and Austin's 6-5, and with Michael winning, that would guarantee me being safe in the playoffs as well. If I pull out my victory, I do think Michael wins this one though. Despite having Kareem Hunt, I think Herbert's starting to turn a corner with actually getting his receivers back. I do think Michael will win this one a little, even by more than the 7 points that's currently predicted. So there you have it, gents. Don't forget, lots of games, 3 on Thursday this week, tomorrow, and not the usual, just 1, and starts way earlier than the Thursday night. So get those lineups set. Good luck. Have some fun. Hopefully, we're some family. See y'all real soon.